All right, good evening, guys. It's Sunday night, which means we are live here with the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series, where tonight we are going to be set to go 130 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know many of you might have tuned into the All-Star race and watched that. I personally don't care anymore about NASCAR. That's why we do this on here. It's a lot more fun. So we got a really good sized field here tonight. And right now we are in qualifying. Joining me as always, we have Mike Major and sometimes making his cameo appearances tonight. We also have Cody Franklin. How you guys doing tonight?
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. I'm doing great. Looking forward to an exciting 130 laps. Got some new guys out there tonight, so interested to see how they run. They're actually got Mullins right now sitting on pole. I don't really recognize the name. I think he's somewhat new.
Well, I see a few new names here in the lineup, and hopefully we do have all 23 of these cars that start here, because that would make a very good field here for Charlotte. And seeing how I've been in here since the beginning of practice, I have seen everything that has been going on. The way these cars handle is right now we take a look at the 77 of Seth Schultz as he makes his way out on track. Right now he's being scored in the 5th position. Now these guys do have 10 laps of 10 minutes of qualifying, 100% fuel, no quick repairs as always. We are, I think, what's now 11 or 12 weeks in to our 34-week race schedule here, so I know we had last week off for Mother's Day, and I do believe after Pocono we'll be taking another week off for Memorial Day, I do believe, so tonight should be a good race. So right now we're looking at right around about just under 3 minutes of qualifying. So while these guys are out here, we're going to go ahead and bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band for tonight's national anthem. Get that out of the way so we can get to you guys the gridding order as soon as qualifying runs up. So everybody please rise, remove your hats as we bring you tonight's nation's colors. Amazing job as always, as we see now the 30 of Kyle Glenworth as he makes his way out on track. Right now he is currently being scored in the 12th position here. Through the field here, that I noticed there's one thing that we see. There's not a lot of Toyotas in the field.
That's interesting to note, Art, because it's kind of flip-flop. Used to see a lot of Toyotas in this racing league. I know, I think Seth, he swapped over to a Mustang for a while. I wonder what he's rocking now. I can't really catch a glimpse of him.
He's in a Ford Fusion. Alright, so the session state has gone to checkered, which means we're going to pull up tonight's starting lineup. On pole, we have the 38 of James Mullins, a new driver to the league. What better way to start your way out here than to be on the pole? Just outside the 21 of Jason DeVries. Rolling off third will be the 4 of Caleb Thompson in the unlucky black Horizon paint scheme. We all gave him hell earlier for it, so hopefully it doesn't do what it normally does. Starting just outside, we have the 23 of Corey Brown in fourth. Rolling off fifth will be the 77 of Seth Schultz. Eric Mickey in the 99 will roll off from sixth. Elliott Butler will be your seventh place starter. Robert Barris in the 75, eighth. The 95 of Caleb Finn will roll off ninth. Aaron Corey in the 44 will round out in the top 10. The 56 of Christian DeBoer will start from the 11th spot. The 30 of Kyle Clenworth will roll off from P12. Sean Bradley in the 87 is your 13th place starter. Joshua Stewart in the 22 will roll off from 14th. The 76 of Josh Jones will be starting from 15th. The 96 of Josh Gallagher. Yes, we do have a lot of Joshes here in the league. He will be starting from 16th. The 10 of Todd Gray will roll off from 17th to his outside. The 28 of Adam Nowinski in 18th. 19th goes to the 32 of Jason Burgess. Rodney Kramer in the 6 will round out the top 20. Rusty Farrell in the 25 will start from 21st. Matt Cherry in the 98 will start 22nd. And rounding out the field tonight will be the 92 of Tim Cato in 23rd.
That is funny, Art. All three Joshes are starting in
back to back to back
order. Starting 14th through 16th. I think they're doing it to mess with us.
Well, we've seen stranger things here as everybody's waiting for the pace car to go. The cars are obviously in gear, so there now as the pace car does take off. We are less than a lap away from getting this race in the books. Once again, it will be 130 laps. These drivers have to be very mindful of their cars as they only do have, well, they have no quick repair, so they've really got to be careful. Alright, so as it looks here, our fourth place starter did not make the grid, so that means we will have 22 cars here in the field tonight. But still, that is a good showing here, especially for Charlotte. Usually, I wouldn't think that you would associate Charlotte with the drivers loving it, but apparently I've been known to be wrong. So we've got a pretty good sized field here. 130 laps to go, and I know that we've got a well, we got a couple fast guys. We got the 23 of Corey Brown there, the 21 of Jason DeVries, the 77 of Seth Schultz, the 75 of Robert Barris, the 16 of Elliott Butler, the 99 of Eric Mickey. They're all very fast here, so pace car is going to make its way down. It's on pit road. We're going to let the 38 bring us in, and green flag is out. We're underway. So early on, we see the 21 of Jason DeVries making the move there on the outside. He is clear as well as the 23 of Corey Brown. We see Corey get a piece of the wall there off of turn 4. That's going to slow him up, allow the 38 of Mullins to get around, and now the 4 of Caleb Johnson is going to challenge and get that position. That seems to stack things up a little bit. Now we see Caleb Thompson. He's getting a little high up there. So they're going to go 3 wide as they come off of turn 2 here.
That's the 77 of Seth Schultz in the bottom group there underneath Corey. Those things got settled out there, and Corey Brown may be trying to go back to the back here.
Looks like there was almost a little bit of contact there between the 16 of Butler and the 99 of Mickey as they were coming off of turn 4 there. So we see right there with the 44 as well. It looks like the cars that are committed to the low line, they have a tendency to drift up a little bit in the corner here, and this is on fresh tires, so just imagine as the run goes on how worse it's going to be with these cars drifting up.
Well, everybody's trying to make their moves now on those fresh tires, because once those tires do wear down, passing is going to be difficult here. It's really going to be only that one groove, and it's going to be difficult to pass inside or outside.
Right now we're watching right around 7th position. We need to make note that the 77 of Seth Schultz got around the 4 of Caleb Thompson, and now we have the 38 of James Mullins challenging our race leader. So we do have a battle for the lead, and this almost might turn into a 3-way battle here, as we've got the 38 of Mullins to the inside of the 21 of DeVries here as they go into turn 1.
Seth looks like he's just lurking. He's wanting to know who's going to go, and he's going to follow that person. Looks like he's going to dive down low, try to get a run behind Mullins. He peeks up, but he's going to stay there low with Mullins.
And right as you say that, he comes up and then back down. But right now, Seth is in the best spot because he has the choice of lane where he wants to go, whether he's going to follow the 38 or if he wants to get up there and work with the 21. But right now, it is still a 3-way battle here for the lead, as right now second and third are side by side.
Looked like Seth dove down there a little bit, got a little bit of air off the left rear of the 38 machine and slowed him up just enough. Seth maybe playing a little games there, diving down low hard and come back up, slow 38 down, get around it.
Well, as we see that, the 77 has made his way around the 38, so I'll move him up to second spot. Now we want to thank everybody tuning in from the iRacing Live portal. If you guys are just now tuning in, this is the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series.
Looks like the 23 of Corey Brown's now going to challenge the 38 machine as he's dove low. Looking for it, can't make the pass this time by, maybe next turn.
Now see, Charlotte is, we know it, is usually a 1 to 2 group track, as now we see the 77, he's going to challenge to the inside, he wants the race lead. Now we're going to see the 38 of Mullins dropping behind. He's going to play the same game that Seth did. He's going to be going back and forth between lanes, but we got to be careful here because we've got the 99 of Eric Mickey who's challenging to the inside of the 23 of Corey Brown as well. So there's a lot of action going on right up here in the front 6.
Yeah, Eric Mickey's trying to make a twofer here. He's trying to pass the 23 of Corey Brown and 38 all in the same swoop. And he's got the run right now, trying to run up there to the back of the 77 machine.
No, they're going to stay door to door here as they get on the backstretch in the 3 once again. It looks like the outside line right now is prevailing a little bit. And as we're going to see now, the 21 kind of occupy both lanes.
Massive run by Eric Mickey as he come up to the back bumper with Seth Schultz and 77 machine.
It's going to be interesting to see how these guys, see how hard they're running already. As we see now the 77, he's running up along the wall there. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to hold on to the tires the longest. We're only 10 laps in to a 130 lap race here, and these guys already, it looks like they're racing like it's the last 10 laps.
Yeah, no shortage of excitement here.
Well, I've been wrong several times before, and we'll use the prime examples. We thought Bristol was going to be a horrible race. It ended up being amazing. Same thing with Phoenix. And we got the 77 in the wall there, and we see that's also trapped the 16 of Elliott Butler, so that slowed him down, but good job by the 16 machine avoiding making contact with the 77. He's going to lose a few positions, but could have been way worse. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the 77 and see how bad the damage is on that machine, because he did make decent contact with the wall. Take a look at his right front here. You can see it is a little bit messed up. Normally you're not supposed to see that Goodyear Eagle sticking out from the fender there. Let's go ahead and take a look from the rear chase and get a look. It doesn't look like it's really too bad. It's just he's got that fender pinch and just a very, very minor hood pop, so I don't think it's really going to affect him. As we go back to the front here, Cody, go ahead and dig it.
Eric Mickey's looking to the inside. He's diving down low, trying to get that run off. Challenge for the lead here. Does he have enough to get through on this turn? I think he does. He's going to edge out the 21 of Jason DeVries this time by.
He'll lead the lap, but he does not have the position secured yet as they head off into 1. They're still door to door.
Meanwhile, you got the 38 of James. Oh, there's 99. There he's got cleared now. 38 of James Bowens, you guy. He's got to run on the 21 of Jason Briggs.
So I think the thing we need to note out is that 99 machine, he started, granted it wasn't a top 10 position, he started 6th. In 14 laps, he's made his way up to the front here. So now we see the 38 of James Mullins. He's going to try and go after 2nd spot and take that away from the 21 of DeVries. And yes, I will say that name backwards and the right way, just because it's fun. They're going to go 3 wide here on the backstretch. Smart move there by the 75 of Robert Barris. He went down low, and he's going to inherit 2 spots off of that one. So that will move Robert now up into 3rd position, Corey to 4th, and Mullins back to 5th.
That damage on the 77 machine has hurt him just a little bit. He's getting passed now for 8th place, moving Joshua Stewart up to 7th place. Should clear it this time by.
And directly behind him, we have the 44 of Aaron Corey, the 16 of Elliott Butler, and the 87 of Sean Bradley. So if Josh can get the run, which he will now get it, now we're going to see Aaron Corey and the 44. He's going to dive down here in turn 1. See if he can make the pass errors. He's going to almost look like he was going to go for a 2 for there, but now we see other drivers getting ready to line up here. So apparently there might be a little bit more damage than we thought there to that 77 machine. We're going to go on board here with the 75 of Robert Barris. I want you guys to listen to the engine and watch the steering. You can hear the RPM starting to variate there, and you can see a little bit of right movement put in there. Normally, we would see a nice, smooth, fluent turn in, but you can see that they're fighting a little bit of a loose off condition here, and as hard as these guys have been racing the first 19 laps here, it's not surprising to see that they're already fighting a loose off condition, and you can see that some of them are actually getting a little bit tight on entry as well too.
Looks like we've got our first victim of the night. The 32 machine, Jason, looks like he's got some heavy damage. He's pulled off down to the pits trying to get some of that fixed, and he's shown 2 laps down now.
Meanwhile, out front, it's Eric Mickey with a 9/10 of a second lead over the 75 of Robert Barris in 2nd spot. The 21 of Jason DeVries in 3rd position. Take a look here at Robert. He started tonight in 8th, and he's currently sitting in 2nd. His fastest lap so far tonight has been a 29.489. Last time by, you can already see the tire fall off, starting to be a little bit of a factor here. You're in a 30.608. Meanwhile, as we go back to the most exciting, it's still hovering right around the 77 as he continues to fall backwards in the field. Right now, he is moved back to the 13th position right now as the 28 of Adam Nowinski has gotten around him on the outside. Next one to come and challenge him will be the 10 of Todd Cray.
Right now, up front, everybody's kind of starting to scatter. The main race there is going to be with the 77 of Seth Schultz for those guys. That damage has to be hurting.
And as you said, that the 10 of Todd Cray got around.
'21 getting loose, giving James Mullins time to catch up and get to the inside of it.
And we're going to ride on board with the 21 here as he is battling. You can see Jason putting the counter steer in there off 4 there to keep the car straight. Now, Jason is something that we have to mention. If you guys haven't seen him race before, he actually runs on an Oculus Rift, so he does not have any mirrors other than being able to look around and see where he's racing. So when he's got a car to his inside, he can't just do what we're seeing here on the broadcast with the virtual mirrors on. He doesn't have that. So when he hears car inside or car low, he has to really pay attention. But this is like trying to tell a professor how to do his job. Is right now we see the 23 Corey Brown. He's also going to try and get to the inside as we see the massive slide there. He's going to save it again. That's going to allow the 23 Corey Brown to get around. So that'll move Jason back to the 5th position. Let's watch off the 4 here if he gets loose again. You see a little bit of a loose off there from the 23. It looked like he was about to dart out there and snatch some of that yellow paint. See, very loose there that time, coming off of 2. So you see the 23 there, he had a little bit of what we call the rear end snap there. It's just snapped out coming. There's a little bit of a bump there when you exit turn 4, just like entering turn 1. That's the tunnel turn there. You've got a bump entering corner on turn 1, then you've got a bump coming off the corner on turn 4. So these cars are really going to be dancing around here as the tires start to wear in more and more as the run goes on here.
Just looking at the lap times here, Art, they are starting to feel the effects of the tires. They're already slowing down. The last lap, our leader ran at 39.60. His qualified time, which he qualified 6th, 28.890. So we're already seeing a significant drop off already. It's only lap 28.
No, I'm looking down here, and I'm looking particularly from 4th on back. Their fast laps being 29, low 29s. Their last laps were low 31s. So they've already lost 2 seconds already in 29 laps here. So tires are going to play a very, very big factor tonight. And I think this might actually play to the advantage of some of the guys that are just riding around and not necessarily using their cars up as much as these guys up front are doing. Now, once again, that also is provided we stay green flag and we don't have any cautions. Then that's going to level the playing field and let everybody be able to have the same advantage here. But the things that we do already know is that these drivers are going to be facing a tight end loose off car here, especially off of 2, as we saw from the onboard shots with the 21, and we saw some loose off of 4 from the 21 and the 75.
Right now, Art, it looks like Robert, Eric, they're kind of swapping back and forth. A couple laps, Robert gained on him 100, maybe 200s, and then like that lap, he lost a 10th to. They're trading back and forth lap for lap, running just a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Everybody else is kind of staying where they're at, not really moving. With James Mullen being in 3rd place, 2.1 seconds back from the leader.
I think the thing to look at here right now is we didn't think it was really that hard of a contact with the wall from the 77. He's down a lap right now. He started 5th. He's currently sitting in 19th position. Now, granted, he does have fresh tires, and I'm assuming that he went down to get that damage fixed, but just that little scrape with the wall that he made apparently did a lot more damage than we thought, because he has dropped 14 positions. And a lap, too, as well.
We got a battle for 6th going on with 22 of Josh and number 4 of Caleb Thompson. Looks like 22 is going to slide. Yep, he's going to swing by there. Take
now,
that 6th.
We got to remember, too, that Caleb's running the unlucky paint scheme. The only other time he ran this, or in fact the last night race that he ran this car at, it ended up as a Ford Focus instead of a Fusion. So hopefully tonight he has some better luck. But it's not necessarily what we're used to seeing, where he's normally running the orange AMD Ryzen. paint scheme. This is his night scheme, which right now is 0 for 1.
Now Eric's he's starting to check out. He's gained a tenth the past 2 laps. So he went from 0.9 to second exactly now, 1.71 seconds ahead of Robert in second place. He is starting to move on.
Ride on the rear TV panel here of our race leader and show you guys just exactly what it looks like to be the race leader here, and knowing that you're now pulling out with a 1.2, almost 1.3 second gap over second spot.
Yeah, everybody's starting to get spread out now, Art. There's not a whole lot of racing side by side. Everybody's just kind of, I think they're starting to figure out their strategy. And if they didn't have a strategy already, they're starting to try to hammer down their strategy and work the pit strategy for positions here.
Well, we are approaching what would be the tire window. I know we're well off from the fuel window here. These guys can go a lot more than this, but it's going to come down to exactly what you just said. It's going to come down to strategy. How long are you willing to stay out? Do you want to sacrifice track position, or do you want fresh tires? Because right now we see the 77, the Seth Schultz. That is not for position. However, you can already see the difference between old versus new tires. The rest of these drivers have 37 laps on their tires. The 77 has far fewer than that as he came down pit road, so he's going to race his way up to the field and try and get his lap back the old school way, as we remain green flag here with 38 laps completed already. You see the 16 Elliott Butler there get a piece of the wall in mid-turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Art, looking at this, the lowest split between the fast lap and their last lap was 2.5 seconds. That was most of the front runners here. Average of about 2.5 seconds loss, and almost 3 second loss from their fast lap. How much longer will they stay out?
Well, the longer they stay out, the more time it's going to fall off, because they're going to have to back the corners up. They're going to have to let it roll through it a lot longer before they can get back on the throttle. And if they're still fighting that loose off condition, I can only imagine it getting worse and worse, as we see right there. Right as it snapped to the 87, that we saw the bobble coming off of turn 2 there. So
I think that was one of the first few bobbles that I've seen from our leader. That is something that I've been noticing. He has not bobbled that car very much.
We got a battle now between the 28 of Adam Nowinski and the 87 of Sean Bradley. This is for 9th position here. Battle continues here. Looks like these guys are pretty much evenly matched. Ooh, you see Bradley get a piece of the wall there. He got a little bit sideways. He was able to gather it up. That's going to give the 28 of Adam Nowinski 9th position. Oh, so we got contact between the 76. We've got one going around on the backstretch, and we got our first caution. So we see the 76 of Josh Jones stopped up there high on the backstretch. That is, looks like it's going to be contact between the 30 and the 76. So we're going to go back and take a look at that, as we are now working our first caution of the race here. Is unfortunately, the 76 is still stuck on track right now, waiting for the field to get by so he can get down off the racing surface. He's trying so hard to get the brakes loose, but he's going to have to sit here at least until most of the drivers can get around. So as he finally gets it turned back around, as he had to wait for the entire field to go by, now we're going to back it up here. And we're actually going to go from the 30s point because I think the 30 might have had something to do with that 76 going around. I'm going to back it up a little bit here, and we're going to show leading up to it here. I want to see exactly what happened and why it happened. So keep your eyes peeled on the 30 Red Bull machine here. That's a shame too, because that 76 machine is one of the ones that sits in my garage that's going to have to be repaired come tomorrow, so it's ready for next week when we go to Pocono. Now we see the 76 get a little piece of the wall there off of 1 and 2, so let's see what happens here.
Closing right there.
Well, honestly, that looks like 30 just flat out gave the 76 a pit maneuver. That wasn't net cut, I can tell you that much right now. And unfortunately, the 76 catching the worst of that one. Meanwhile, as we cycle back up here, we're going to get to the front of the pack. While we are working our first caution here, we're going to go ahead and cut to our first commercial break and return with the action here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series. Alright, as we are back, they're still under caution. Hopefully we will get the 1 to green here. So we see a couple cars staying out in front of the race leader, the 99. They're going to stay out to get the free pass here and get back on the lead lap, so they should be doubling back up for the restart here. As we hear the cars spooling up, the lights are out, so restarting with the race lead will be the 99 of Eric Mickey. To his outside, the 75 of Robert Barris, the 38 of James Mullins in third, the 21 of Jason DeVries fourth. Joshua Stewart in the 22 fifth, Corey Brown in the 23 sixth, the 16 of Elliott Butler seventh, Adam Moonski in the 28 eighth, the 87 of Sean Bradley ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be the 44 of Aaron Corey.
Well, Art, I just got me a sip of water because we know that this next 10 laps are going to be absolutely nuts with these fresh tires. These guys are going to be making some moves.
Well, especially now that we've got Robert starting on the outside line. He's got Jason behind him and Eric on the inside. It's going to be interesting to see, since Eric does control this restart here. The initial start of the race is on green flag, but now the 99 dictates how this race restarts here. So the entire field has to be ready. Is he going to jump? What's he going to do? Pace cars down. And there's the jump. Green flag is out, so he's able to clear the 75. So good move there by the 99. As now we're going to see the 38 try to challenge the 21 once again.
A little bit of a checkup there on the inside line behind the 38 and 75.
We are watching all kinds of ducking and weaving there on the backstretch. That's more indicative of plate track racing versus Charlotte. Although, if you guys did tune in and watch the actual All-Star race, they did put restrictor plates on the cars, and they rolled out what's going to be the new aero package for the remainder of the season, which, if you haven't read it, go read it, because it's seriously another nail in the tombstone of NASCAR. They're doing everything they could possibly do to try and kill the series.
Looks like we got Corey Brown looking to the outside there. Don't look like he's doing for him. And 22, Joshua Stewart is going to challenge him for that spot.
Corey seems to be holding his own right now on the outside there. It's just, it seems like on corner entries where he loses it, but you can see there off corner exit, he was able to get down there and clear the 22. So Corey is going to hang on to the 5th position there as he has to check up a little bit for the 21, which now we're going to see the crossover with the 22 as Stewart to his outside. Let's see if Stewart can make the same move that Corey did last time by. Now we see the 16 at Elliott Butler getting in the mix here as well.
With these fresh tires that run off up the top might be the way to go in 1 and 2. I don't know about 3 and 4.
I know it's hard to judge seeing how it's a night race, but these corners are looking pretty dark already, and with only 50 laps in, we still have a ton to go, so I can only imagine by the time that we're done racing here tonight, just how much rubber is going to be laid down in these turns here. And that can either work towards the benefit, or it can work as a disadvantage. As we see, the 22 has been able to clear. The 23 is now he's going to try and do the same move on the outside of the 21.
I'm going to have to bring up Adam Nowinski. He started 18th, and he has found himself in 8th place in the top 10. Having a good run tonight.
And another one that we had to talk about, the 22 of Josh Stewart. He started 14th, and he's up to 5th. Another big mover is the 25 of Rusty Farrell. I know we haven't really said much about him tonight, but look at this. He started 21st. He's up to 10th position now, as we saw the 56 of Christian DeBoer there. He was doing a little bit of infield maintenance there, mowing it. Did a great job saving that race car. But Rusty now sitting inside the top 10 after rolling off tonight in 21st position in that 25 Mobil 1 Tracker Chevrolet.
Looks like Seth Schultz actually going to move by him, as well as Caleb Thompson. They're moving themselves up the spot. As Seth Schultz has moved himself back up to the lead lap. Score him P13.
Right now we've got the 22 of Joshua Stewart to the outside of the 21 of Jason DeVries as they got on the backstretch. We saw Corey do it. Now he was looking there, but look at the run that Stewart is able to get there on that upper groove when you trap somebody down there, as he's able to clear. He didn't quite drop down. He could have dropped down, but now he will do so. And now look to see the 23 and the 16 try and replicate the same move and drop Jason back a few more positions here. And you got to remember, earlier on, we rode on board with the 21, and he was fighting the loose condition. As we see, the 21 had a little bit of a blink there, so now this is going to stack things up as we got the 23 and the 16 directly behind them.
All right, we know that bottom groove's fast, but it takes the whole track to do it when the loose condition's off. You have to be able to run all the way up to that wall, catching that slide to be fast off. And right now, that middle groove seems to be working fairly well for most of these guys. Don't look, they're bobbling too much coming off.
If you look up front right now, it's a 3/10 second gap from first to second, and then put another 2/10 of a second back to third. So about a half second, now 0.6 seconds back from first to third.
Looks like we got the 92, Tim Cato, getting in the wall there. He is lapped down Not having too good of a night for him.
Well, we all know that a lot of these guys have favorite tracks, and they've got tracks that they can't stand. And tonight, we've seen a lot of drivers here that normally are brutally fast, that we're seeing not really doing what their true potential is. Maybe it's something to do with the way the cars are ill handling tonight. It could be just they got plenty of practice time in. It's just, I think what we're seeing is we're seeing the track state changing in a fashion that the drivers didn't anticipate.
And we've got new drivers that are fast.
As we see right now, the 23. Corey Brown now, he did the slide job there on the 21. Jason's going to try and do the crossover here as they head down the backstretch in the 3.
These guys love racing side by side.
More importantly, the thing that I think we have to take pride in here with Diehard is these guys do it clean. I mean, yes, we did have one caution so far, but that one really doesn't atone for what this league is all about. And this league is notorious for long green flag runs. Now that we got that one caution out of the way, I would not be surprised if we finish this race out green flag from here on out.
Yeah, I'd second that, Art. You hit the nail on the head there. That was uncharacteristic caution that we saw there with the two cars, but they're starting to get spread back out, and everybody's starting to run their own race, looks like, and that's the way it normally happens. Run your own race, and hopefully your strategy comes out on top.
So you see now the 23 of Corey Brown, he's going to try and challenge against the 22 of Joshua Stewart here. Corey was able to get by the 21. He held off the charge from the inside. As you see a little bit of loose off there on 4. But
he's an apron.
Exactly. A lot of these drivers, I've been noticing, they're putting those left sides right down there on that white line to help rotate the car on entry. As we see, I believe that was the, what was that car up there? I think it was the 44. So he might have grazed the wall coming out of 2 there.
He's not showing too much damage from the point of view that I've got, but he is up high.
We're going to go on board here with the 23. You can see right there the car doing a little bit of dirt tracking as he's got Stewart to his outside. Let's see what happens as they go into 3. So we see Stewart with an early break there. Corey having to put some right wheel input into that car to keep it going left. Now, here's a prime example of a driver who is really good at driving a loose car. Corey, when he does the open set races, we've tried running his setups, and if you're not used to a loose car, like look at that, look at the control right there, how out of control that 23 just was, and he just acted like it was another day in the office there.
He might be thinking he's setting it up. This is how he sets up a car.
As we see a big fight there off of turn 4 there. Let's watch it from the outward perspective here and watch that car as it comes off the corner. It doesn't really do justice till you go on board with these guys to show exactly how loose these cars are. Now we see the 16 of Elliott Butler. He's going to go up to the upper line along with the 22 of Joshua Stewart as they're going to try and battle. As we see, looks like Butler got a tiny piece of the wall there coming off of 4. We're going to focus back here on the 22 as it looks like he's going to gather it back up and try and make another attempt to get around the 21. Now tonight, Jason running the old school Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft throwback paint scheme versus what we normally see him in, which would be the Texaco Javelin paint scheme. while these guys are still racing it out here, if you guys are liking what you're seeing and you want to be part of this action here, go on iRacing. If you're already a member, look us up in the iRacing directory, Diehard Racing League. We have 2 series. We have, of course, what we bring to you every night here live on the portal, the JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series, but we also have a Truck and Xfinity Series. So feel free to put in an application if you're a good hard racer, clean racer, you want to get in on this action and possibly get some TV time. By all means, put in an application with the league, and hopefully we'll see you guys out on track. Now we see the 23 of Corey Brown low and slow off of 4 there, so the 21 and the 22 are going to get back around him. That'll drop Corey back to 6th position. That'll bring it within striking distance of the 16 of Elliott Butler and the 28 of Adam Nowinski.
It's amazing to hear how much these cars are actually backing up the corners now. Just a few laps into this run. It's day and night difference.
I couldn't agree with you any more. I mean, we're 5 laps away from halfway here, so usually what we see in the first half is usually what dictates what's going to happen in the closing half of the race here. And so far we've seen, once these guys get stretched out here, it's not really a lot of stuff that we can just point around and be darting around from car to car to car. These guys get spread out. It's going to be just like a typical NASCAR race. You're going to see maybe a battle for position every 5 or 6 laps versus lap after lap after lap, where you can see like a short track or a plate track. But that's the thing that we love so much about green flag racing, is these guys are capable and they've got the skill set, the racecraft, and more importantly, they have the respect with the other drivers that they're not going to race them dirty. They're going to run clean, but they're also going to run you as hard as they can. So you see the 76 of Josh Jones making his way back down pit road again.
Yeah, he just went another lap down by the leader. I actually saw a bobble from the leader there. That's one of the few that I've actually seen from him. Not going to hurt him much, as he still pulled another 10th away from the 2nd place. He stretched himself back out to...
We're going to go back on board with the 23. And we're going to see just how loose that car still is. As you see on entry there, he was loose on entry. So now we've definitely seen a track state change happen here. 23 loose on entry and loose on exit. Now that could be from a number of things, from overdriving the car. It could be just not backing up the corner right. There's several factors that play into it, but like I said, we see a little bit of a wall scrape there by the 22 in front of him. I think what we saw is the track just did a swing in a violent direction as we were watching Corey just sawing on the wheel here as he goes through 1 and 2.
He is holding on that thing by just a shoestring.
Man, this is some incredible car control here by the 23. He is just absolutely fighting this car tooth and nail. You'd almost think that we were at Charlotte and somebody threw dirt all over the track. He's still holding on to that 6th position despite having to counter steer like crazy here. We're gonna go to our leader and see how he's doing. So just watch the 99 on his input here. We saw the 23, how squirrely loose the car is. Let's ride a few laps on board with our race leader, the 99 of Eric Mickey. We can see here, total night and day opposites when it comes to car control here. The 99's casually cruising around. He's got a 1.2 second lead over the 75 of Robert Barris, and we've seen no indication that that car is ill handling whatsoever. And this is something that I think we should point out. We've seen week after week after week with the 99. Every time he comes out, he is just absolutely smooth, calm, collected behind the wheel. And right now, looking at out of the 80 laps that we have completed here, 67 of those belong to this 99 machine here, as he is undoubtedly probably going to be tonight's lap leader here with the most laps led. Meanwhile, as we go back to most exciting, it's going to go back between the 23 of Brown and the 22 of Stewart. And now we see the 76 of Jones, the 87 of Bradley, and the 25 of Rusty Farrell. Josh on fresher tires, so he's going to motor by him. We can see that they were able to put the TV panel back on that 76 machine. That's a good sign there, even though it is all beat to heck and back. Meanwhile, we've got a battle going on now for 5th position as the 23 Corey Brown, he's going to nose out Stewart in the 22. Now we have rode several laps on board with the 23. We know how loose that car is, but apparently, like we said, Corey knows how to drive a loose car, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Looking for the lap times, he's about 2/10 off the leader's pace. The leader's running in the low ones, or upper ones to low twos, and Corey oh, he actually got it down to a 266 there. He's dropping the wheels off that car.
It looks like our race leader here, over about a 40 laps span, he only has about a 2-second fall off, so you can tell the difference between who's managing their tires and who's just going rogue right now and going for position, banking on a late race caution. Now we're under 50 to go. We have 47 laps remaining here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where they're in what they do best, a nice long green flag run. Well, these guys are on their long green flag run here. We're going to go ahead and cut to another commercial break here and return with the action here at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series. as we return, not much has really changed here. We did see the 75 and the 38. Oh, you see the 38 sideways on pit road there. I'm gonna have to back that up and see what happened there, because I want to see why the 38 got turned around there, even though we are still under green. There was no caution for that. I want to see what happened here.
He just locked it down coming in.
We're watching his entry there. He gets loose on the apron and comes in pit road in style here. So you see the 23 Corey Brown as well as the 16 Elliott Butler. So the 38 backing out of the way. Almost contact with the 16, but he gets it fired around in the right direction. So we are now under green flag pit stops here. So you see the 44, the 87, and the 4 making their way down pit road there. Meanwhile, looking at the 77 of Seth Schultz, he is currently being scored in 5th position after tagging the wall early on here. So we got several more drivers down on pit road right now. So now that will actually put the 77 of Seth Schultz as our race leader. We've got the 99, the 21, the 22, the 28, the 96, several drivers down on pit road right now. Oh, you see Rodney Kramer getting a wall there. But we did see Rodney get the wall there pretty hard there in that 6 machine out of 3 and 4. He kept it up in the wall. You see the 22 and the 28 making their way off of pit road. Let's take a look here at the 6 of Rodney Kramer. Let's see how bad the damage is on the machine.
Looks like that Viagra machine took a hard lick.
If you look at the right front suspension, you can clearly see about half of that tire, so. Look at that rear chase, you can see he has definitely tweaked that Viagra machine there. So he's just gonna get to the inside here, mow a little bit of grass to the quad oval there as he's gonna let all these guys by. While all that was happening, the 77 has made his way down pit road. And he missed his pit box too, where it is, so that's going to have implications there for the 77 team. So as things cycle out, our new race leader will be the 96 of Josh Gallagher. We look right there at the 38, who we went back and we looked at the replay there on his pit road entry. There's a little bit too hot, he locked it down, but he's still holding on to the 9th position. And now we have the 96 down pit road, so that'll hand the lead over to the 75 of Robert Barris.
Robert came down a lap, maybe 2 early than the leader. I think he's thinking the time frames aren't much different. The laps, they were trading them back and forth there on the long run. I think he's trying to get out ahead, and then it's going to be a lot harder for the 99 to pass him after his tires are on. If I'm knowing Robert, I believe that's what he's thinking.
No, the one thing that I'm watching in particular, I'm watching the relative there on him, and it's actually slowly going down. It'll go up just a little bit, but then you'll see a large drop, as right now it's gone down to 1.1, it's almost at a 1.3, so the 99 is already reeling in the 75 as we speak. That last time by, the 99 was 0.3 of a second faster than the 75. So, as we can see by the relative now being at 0.9 seconds, Eric's closing that gap pretty quick, and Robert's going to have a mirror full of the 99 here, probably within about 10 laps. Once again, if you're just joining us live from the iRacing portal, we are live here with the Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series. We are down to 34, 33 laps to go at the line here as we've watched the battle going on between the 75 and the 99. The 75 came down a little bit earlier than the 99, but what we're seeing here is at one point was a 1.3 second lead. It's already shrunk down to 0.6 of a second. So we're actually going to switch over to the 99 here, and we're going to ride on board with him for a few laps. He continues to let that gap disintegrate in front. He's going to be right up on Robert here pretty quick, as it's holding right around a half a second, now down to 0.4.
He's nearly 0.2 faster that lap.
We can start to see some lap traffic coming into play here. I'm pretty sure the 99's agenda is pretty clear. He wants to get around the 75 before they start hitting lap traffic here. Although, you could always use lap traffic as a pick. We saw what would have been the first pick from the 6th Rodney Kramer. He went down pit road, but now here it is. This is going to be the battle here for the lead. The 99 of Eric Mickey has already caught the 75 of Robert Barris.
Now, we know Robert will typically, if you run him down, he'll typically give you that spot. But with as dominant as Eric's been, I don't think he's going to give it to him.
Well, I don't think he's going to have much of a choice. Eric's not going to let him give it to him. He's going to take it. As they're door to door as they go into turn 1 here, we're going to see the positions change. So, hand the race lead back over to the 99 of Eric Mickey. I knew it was going to happen, and I knew it would be within a 10-lap window. But is Robert now just going to hang right behind him and maybe drive a little bit harder, or is he going to bank on the 99 using up his tires, which we saw on that last long run before they all came down for their scheduled stops? The 99 was driving it like it was just a Sunday drive. Even, well, cliche term to use there, but literally we've gone on board with other drivers. It is Sunday, but the car control that he's using, we've seen some of the drivers just absolutely fighting the cars tooth and nail. Eric's made this thing look like the car is on autopilot and he's just laying back watching Netflix or something.
Corey Brown has worked his way up to 3rd, as it appears. He's nearly 6 seconds back off the leader and has about around a 2-second gap between him and 4th.
Now we're going to see the 76 of Josh Jones there in the picture. He will be going down a lap here as the 99 gets to him. And look at the gap that's already opened up. We see already a 1.1 second lead. 76 is going to stay high to allow the leader by. So as they come to the line, it'll be 26 more laps to go here at Charlotte. So that's going to bring up a brief summary here. We've got 104 of the 130 laps completed. We've had 5 lead changes, and no shocker here, only 1 caution for 4 laps. And right now our top 5 consisting of the 99 of Eric Mickey, 2nd, the 75 of Robert Barris, Corey Brown, the 23, 3rd. Oh, speak of the devil.
Trying to find it.
Ooh, we see both those cars there in the infield. That's going to be the 25 of Rusty Farrell and the 77 of Seth Schultz.
Ooh, 77 got some massive damage on the 77.
Let's back it up and take a look and see what brought out this second caution here. Let's keep your eyes on both those cars there. The 77 machine, which is another one that I'm going to have to repaint now. Keep your eyes on that 77 and the 25 here as they come off of turn 4 this time by. You see the 4 of Caleb Thompson in the mix. Looks like Rusty just gets a piece of the wall, tags the 77. Ooh, wow, synchro spinning.
It's almost like they choreographed that. I mean, it's bad luck for them, but
well, both motors we see detonated too, so that's not a good sign. So that will bring out our second caution as we see everybody coming down pit road, which of course they're going to do.
Resets everything.
If you look on pit road here, we see the 38, the 21, the 75, the 99 getting raced off the pit road, the 23, the 16, the 22, the 28. 38's down and away. See the 10 of Todd Cray. 44 of Aaron Corey, the 87 of Sean Bradley, and that's going to pretty much wrap things up. There's the 4 of Caleb Thompson as well. So it does appear that winning the race off of pit road is going to be the 75 of Robert Barris.
Yeah, it appears that he got went off pit road with Eric Mickey and coming in second, and Corey Brown in third. That actually might be a break for the 6 of Rodney Kramer, the bagger machine. We seen him hit the wall earlier, and he had just made another pit stop. He is a lap down. He'll get it back here, but he doesn't have, I don't even know if he has that many laps on his tires, maybe 1 or 2.
So we're going to do a quick look through at the back of the field here. Out of the 22 cars that started tonight, we only have 3 retirees. The 32 of Jason Burgess, the 95 of Caleb Finn, and the 92 of Tim Cato. So we still have 19 cars remaining here. And by the time we wrap this caution up, right around 20 laps to go here at Charlotte.
Somebody that's made their way up, we got Joshua Stewart, 14th. He's up in 5th still, as we talked about earlier, and Adam Nowinski started 18th. He's up to 7th. Good to see Adam up in the top 10. He's had some rough luck the past few races, and
hopefully you don't jinx him on that one.
Top 5, maybe a top 10.
All right, so we see the wave-bys taking place here. That's going to lead us into our restart order. With the race lead will be the 75 of Robert Barris. He's opted to take the bottom line. Eric Mickey, the 99, will restart on the outside in second. We have Elliott Butler, excuse me, change that around. The 23 of Corey Brown in restarting third. The 16 of Elliott Butler fourth. The 22 of Joshua Stewart fifth. The 38 of James Mullins sixth. The 28 of Adam Nowinski seventh. Aaron Corey in the 44 eighth. The 10 of Todd Cray ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be the 87 of Sean Bradley.
Glad to see Todd up in the top 10 too. He was in the back of the pack earlier.
Right now, with 21 laps to go, when they hit the line here and restart this race, I think we're going to see all the gloves come off here, and we're going to see some straight up racing here. Hopefully it stays clean to the end. I can't guarantee that, but I think we're in for a show here. So the pace car is down and away. There's the jump by the 75. Green flag is out. We are back underway. 21 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
23 got a good start there too. Looks like he's going to clear the 99 at the start. And the 16 dropping down low. He's going to try to clear the 99. Everybody trying to put the 99 as far back as they can because they know he's fast. Oh, no, I got the wall. He's down. He's down.
And that's going to bring out another caution as he brings it back up on the racing surface. A tough break there for the 99 of Eric Mickey.
Oh, man, that car is carnage.
Eric led 83 laps tonight, but it looks like his night now, unfortunately, is going to be done as we are back under caution here. So, unfortunately, the cautions might be breeding cautions here, but we're going to take a look and see what happened to him. And luckily, he's still able to drive that car down pit road under his own power, so he's not going to have to sit for 30 minutes, but is he going to be able to make it back out with 20 laps to go?
Do we chalk that up to him leading so many laps, getting used to it, and then having actually traffic in front of him? And
that was he just clips the wall there. Ooh, that was a hard hit. That was a very hard hit, and unfortunately, he had the brakes locked down the entire time, and that car, that just shows the speed that he was carrying when he slammed that inside wall. Even with the brakes locked down, he still went about at least 500 to 600 feet back up the track. So very, very hard impact for that 99 machine. It's a shame to see that happen, but that's going to set us up for yet another restart here and another chance for things to go wrong.
That is some strange events there. Corey Brown, second place, decides to pit with only one lap on his tires. Maybe half a lap, is what I'm being told.
Well, right now, strategy is strategy. Maybe he's banking on there being more cautions. All I know is if you're just tuning in now, you tuned in at the right time. We're down to the wire here as we're going to be probably right around 15 laps to go here when we restart the race. We've had a very well, this one has kind of been about like an average race. We've got let's pull the summary up here as we're working our third caution right now. We just saw, unfortunately, if you're just tuning in, you missed the action of our. He's still going to clinch it regardless. The 99, he led the most laps tonight, but unfortunately, he clipped the outside wall coming off turn 2 and absolutely smoked the inside wall. So we're not going to be interviewing Eric tonight in victory lane, but at least he can know that he had the strongest car here and definitely was the one to beat. So now that's going to open it up for the 75 of Robert Barris to try and drive away with this one here. There's a name, too, that we haven't really said much about who's going to be restarting in second spot. That's the 16 of Elliott Butler. And then look back behind Robert, the 22 of Joshua Stewart. And also tonight's pole sitter, the 38 of Mullins. In his first start here with the league, James Mullins sat on the pole tonight, and he'll be restarting from the 4th spot. So there's a lot of variables still in play here. So I don't think we're done seeing the action here. Hopefully, like I said, and I'm going to knock on wood when I say it this time, hopefully we're done with the cautions and we can get these last laps in here under green flag and get a good finish here, because there's nothing more that the drivers hate to see than a race ending under caution, unless you're the winner, because then you don't care. You don't have to worry about fighting for the position. You know you got it. And what we need to point out, the 22, he's up 11 spots. The 28, directly behind him, he's up 13 spots. So definitely things to watch out for. The 22, the 28, the 16, the 38. Robert's got a lot of competition in his rear view right now, and the lights are out on the pace car. We're about a half a lap away from seeing how, hopefully, this last restart is going to dictate how the race is. We see the 99 of Eric Mickey. He's back on track. He's going to catch up to the tail end of the field with the 76 to Josh Jones as they head off into 3 and 4 here. Cody, I'm going to let you go ahead and call this restart out, because hopefully you don't jinx it like I did last time.
Yeah, and you know these guys, they knew Eric was fast, and they may have been saving some for what they had. Now they're going to be a little more hungry, knowing that, well, pace car's down, and Robert's at the jump.
Great jump there by the 75 as he has put already 3/10 on. But I'm going to be more focused as to what's going on behind.
The 16 not with a great start. He is falling back a little bit. 38 trying to push him.
Oh, as we got a big wreck on the back. There's huge wreck. We're going to be back under caution here. So all We're gonna look at this one. We're gonna go from the 87's point of view, Sean Bradley, and we're gonna see what unfolded there. But Cody, while I'm looking at this, do we have the windows in the booth here that open up? Because I want you to look out and see if we got a full moon or something going on.
No, but we got a lot of smoke in there. I want to keep the window shut. Holy moly. The 87 tagged that wall, and he was a sitting duck.
All right, so here it is from the restart. Keep your eyes peeled on that 87 Duff Beer Chevy SS.
Oh, watch the 463.
They head off here through turns 1 and 2. Watch as he comes off of turn 2. He gets the wall right there. See the 44, and wow, look at Jason DeVries in the 21. Wow, hard contact with the 96 of Josh Gallagher, the 30 of Kyle Clenworth. Aaron Corey involved as we see the 99 of Eric Mickey and the 76 of Josh Jones. I want to go on board with the 21 of Jason DeVries. I want to see how he went through that one, because that's going to be one heck of a replay right here. So here we go. Let's watch it. Here he is, the wall right there. Absolutely amazing piece of driving. That's some Days of Thunder stuff right there. So I guess you're about as unlucky as I am, Cody, because that actually went worse than when I said it.
I was about to say mine went worse. I'm telling you, man, that 4, he snuck by as the 87 was coming back up the track. Him and the 21 making great moves. They get the good hands award.
We're actually going to take another viewpoint here while they're under caution. We're going to go on board with the 23 of Corey Brown and watch what happened when he had to save it there. Alright, so here we are. We're going to go from the restart. We ride on board with the 23 of Corey Brown. Now this will be the restart of the race here. See, already he had to check up there at the beginning. Now Corey's going to get tagged by another car. Watch how bad he has to fight this car, but he manages to save it. Look at that. Look at the wheel right there. He fought it all the way down the backstretch, but he kept control of it. So that right there is some definitely skilled hands.
And I'm curious why he pitted, and that put him in that position to get tagged like that. He had to be thinking something else, which he's more talented of a race car driver than I am. So I really would like to know his thinking there.
So right now this is working to the 75's advantage right now, as Robert really doesn't have to do that hard of a racing. All he has to do is get the jump on the restart, but I think these two guys behind him, they're already expecting the jump, so I think Robert's going to have to change up his strategy here, and he might have to do a straight up heads up start here to try and maintain the lead here. We've got the 16 of Elliott Butler, the 22 of Josh Stewart, the 38 of James Mullins, the 28 of Adam Nowinski, and look at this, the 10 of Todd Cray. We've got all kinds of things that can or could go wrong, but I think that last wreck kind of narrowed the chances of us seeing another caution here, as we will restart this race with 11 to go.
Maybe we should get Big Brother that's watching over for us, Mike. Maybe he'll bring a little better luck.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I think between the three of us, we've got it. We're about as lucky as a horseshoe that's been upside down in the mud for a couple of years, and somebody sadly picked it up and hung it on their wall upside down. All right, as they get ready to restart, the pace car is going to drop down. Let's see what Robert does. Here's the early jump by the 75. Green flag is back out. 11 laps to go. What are we going to see here in the final 11 laps?
Looks like we caught the 22 and 16 sleeping a little.
3 wide turns 1 and 2. Jason's going to back out of it. Little contact there between the 28 and the 4. I think the gloves are off now. It's every man for himself now, as we see the 4, the 28, the 23, and the 21 here.
Corey Brown's found himself in this mix.
You see the 28 of Adam Linsky. He's going to go up to the upper group here now. Corey Brown's going to split it 3 wide as they come out of turn 2. Adam in the wall.
Adam bobbled it there.
As right now, we need to change our focus here, though, for the lead. We see Corey there. As we see, this is going to be the battle for the lead, as we've also got a battle for 3rd position between the 38 of James Mullins and the 22 of Joshua Stewart. So we're under 10 laps to go here at Charlotte. And I think what we're going to see here is, I don't think they're done 3 wide yet.
What we see here is we went from fighting to find somebody, racing somebody, and now we don't have enough cameras to cover it all.
Well, no, I'm going to use Mike's trademarked phrase here. This is insanity. This is what we normally say every Saturday night if you guys tune in for the Cyber Racing Association when we do their Homes Now Not Later Super Speedway series. We use the term insanity a lot, and that's kind of how the end stage of this race is playing out here.
Adam did get gathered back up, and he is not fallen a few places back, but he did get it gathered back up.
You see the 38 of James Mullins has made it around the 22 of Joshua Stewart, so that'll put him up to 3rd. Does the 16 or the 38 have anything for the 75? It'll be 6 laps to go next time by. The 38 he's vanished right now, so that might not be a good thing. No, he's throughputing right now, so that's definitely going to be unfortunate for the 38, as he was our pole sitter tonight. So right now it's going to come down to, does the 16 of Elliott Butler have anything for the 75 of Robert Barris?
So the 10's getting a little bit of a run on the 22, as well as the 4 is gathered up to back of the 10. That is for 5th, 4th, and 3rd place.
As we're watching it right here, right now, we see the 4 of Caleb Thompson. He was able to squeak through the big one there on the backstretch. This is now 5 laps to go here. Robert with a 1/10 second lead here. We're going to put our focus back on that 75 machine. As we can see, not as many cars as there was before. That big one that we had did take out a lot of them. But I honestly don't think that the 16 is going to be able to make a power play here for the win. I think Robert might have this one in the bag. But regardless, if Butler can hang on to 2nd spot, he will still collect the podium finish. So right now it's going to come down to who's going to be our 3rd place finisher. Is it going to be the 22 of Joshua Stewart, or is it going to be the 10 of Todd Cray? So 3 laps to go now as Robert crosses the stripe here. 4.5 more miles to go here around Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it does appear that unless by some freak chance that Robert makes a mistake here, that he'll be finally bringing that 75 home in victory lane. Meanwhile, as we look back at the battle for 3rd position between the 22 and the 10.
That's almost a 4-car battle. Jason has caught himself up to back of the 4, and the 4 getting a little bit better run off than the 10.
Can't count out the 23 of Corey Brown either. He's right there behind Jason. So it will be white flag coming out as Robert crosses the line this time by. So we will be on the last lap here. We're watching to see if the 10 has anything for the 22, because if you're going to make a move, now's going to be the time. Let's see if the 21 or the 23 has anything before, or anything can happen on this last lap. As we see now, the 21, he was looking low there on exit at 2. He's going to move to the inside as they go into turn 3 here. So let's see if Jason can make the move here in the final turns.
Tries to do the slide job, but Caleb's
not going to be enough to do it, as our top 3 is going to be Robert Barris with the race win, Elliott Butler in the 16th second, and Joshua Stewart able to hold off the 10 of Todd Cray for 3rd position. Man, that was actually really good to see these guys run out a green flag finish here. I really wasn't expecting to see that big one happen, but hey, it's Charlotte, and it was getting down to the wire. It wasn't really necessarily go time yet, but it's something that we had seen all night. The cars just fighting a loose condition or pushing off the wall there, and we saw with the 87, and unfortunately he was in the right place at exactly the wrong time and made contact with several other cars. A lot of them rode it home on the hook, but we do have our top 3 in the interview. So Cody, I'm going to let you go ahead and take care of our 3rd place, as we're going to bring in the 22 of Joshua Stewart.
We got the 22 of Joshua Stewart in the booth with us. Josh, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Tell us about those last few laps. A major change of events from, long green flag runs there to a couple quick cautions where people collected the wall.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I worked hard all night trying to get up there to the top 10. Finally made it to the top 5. Robert and Elliott was pretty fast.
Yeah, you had a pretty good battle there with Todd Cray in the 10 car. How bad was your tire wear?
Yeah, my tires fell off after about 5 laps where we restarted. I was having a lot of trouble getting going on the restarts, but Todd was definitely getting ready to catch me there. Maybe a couple more laps he would have had it.
Yeah, it was a intense battle between y'all two, but you able to hold him off for the P3. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, just thank you all. Thanks for putting this on, and appreciate it.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you next week.
10-4. Thank you.
That was our 3rd place finisher, the 22 of Joshua Stewart. Now we are going to bring in the 16 of Elliott Butler. All right, Elliott, we all had our eyes peeled on you to see if you can make the move on Robert there in the closing laps. But before we get into that, I've got to ask the most pressing question of the night. How bad was the tire fall off?
It was pretty bad. I was fighting with a tight race car all night. It was pretty bad in practice and just couldn't seem to figure things out. But thought it was about a 7th, 8th place car. But managed to work some strategy, get to the front, give us a chance, and got pretty close.
Now we saw what we're normally famous for, that nice long green flag run. We all did not see that big one coming there on the backstretch, and that took out a lot of fast cars, and we actually got a couple replays of people who probably shouldn't have made it through that wreck, but they did somehow. But we knew that it was going to come down to Robert timing the restarts, and everybody knows that when you're the leader, you want to get a jump. We were kind of predicting that Robert would maybe check the field up and then do a late jump. But you had stiff competition all night between the 22 of Joshua Stewart. We saw the 38 of James Mullins. Unfortunately, he throughput. Otherwise, I think we would have had maybe a 3 or 4-way battle as we were watching it from 1st to 2nd and then 3rd through 5th. But at the end of the night, sore arms, tight car, 130 laps in the books. You brought it home in 2nd. It's got to be a great feeling.
Oh yeah, I was pretty happy with the performance tonight. And got a good finish, and got a lot of great racing out there.
Now, with this race finally in the books, how you feeling about next week when we go on to Pocono?
I hate Pocono, to be honest with you. It's not one of my better tracks. I don't seem to do very good on the really big, weird tracks like Pocono and Indy, but we'll give it what we got and hopefully get another top 5.
Well, we will be racing on the newly repaved surface, so I think it's going to be a new learning curve for everybody. But is there anybody out there that you would like to thank before we cut you loose for the night?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at Diehard for putting on this league and the broadcast. It's been a lot of fun being a part of it. I'd like to thank American Hero Hunt for sponsoring the series. Everybody watching out there, everybody supporting me, my dad and my girlfriend, anybody else out there, and hope they enjoyed the show.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the second, and we will see you next week at Pocono.
Look forward to it, man.
All right, that was our second place finisher, the 16 of Elliott Butler. Now we are going to bring in the 75 of Robert Barris. All right, Robert, you brought her home in victory lane. It's got to be a great feeling finally.
Yes, it is. It's been a long time coming. The way the season's been going, for some reason, just whatever the luck hasn't come my way, and we finally got I think it flipped around a little bit. A couple guys who were real fast got caught up in some stuff, and we were there to take advantage of it.
I think one of the most interesting things to note of the night was Eric Mickey led the most laps, and then he just happened to get that weird tight push off of 2, clipped the wall, and absolutely smoked the inside wall, which effectively terminated his what would have been another dominating performance. But we did see a lot of drivers that were not typical of being a top 10 per se up in there at the end of it after we saw the big one on the backstretch, which I think that blindsided everybody. We never expected to see that many cars going around, especially at Charlotte. But I want to ask, how bad were the tires?
They weren't too bad as long as you took care of them. It's really, just for whatever reason, it's really easy to overdrive the entries, both 1 and 3 here. And if you do that, you're pretty much stuck with just sliding the tires all the way through to the corner. So you have to really practice patience, both at the beginning of a run and then all the way through the run. And I think that was kind of where Eric and I think, separated ourselves from the field as we had some longer runs. I think he was maybe a little bit better doing it. I don't know if that was just him, his skill, or if that was just clean air, and we kind of didn't get a chance really to find out when we had the flip between positions on one of those sets of pit stops. But like I said, as long as you're just patient with it, you have to really be patient. They would do fine.
Well, I think the one driver to bring up when you mentioned about the way the tires were wearing is the 23 of Corey Brown. We spent so much time on board with him, watching him dirt track that car through turn 2, turn 4, turn 1. Well, it doesn't matter what turn it was. He was even dirt tracking it sometimes through the quad oval. We all know Corey likes a loose car, but I mean, sometimes it was just absolute a 45-degree Ken Block Gymkhana style drifting through there. But nonetheless, he still did manage to get a top 10 finish, but that's not to take away from your race win. I want to know, since next week we're moving on to the newly surfaced Pocono, what's your outlook on that?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I've always done halfway decent at Pocono. You kind of have to approach it. Oh, it's got some components to a road course in it where a lot of times we'll have to shift. I imagine we'll have to be shifting in these cars just with the speed they can carry on the front stretch, and then the unique turns. Each turn is unique, so I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna enjoy the win both here tonight and the earlier race we did for the trucks, kind of the preliminary. I was able to get a win there as well, so we're 2 for 2 tonight. Got a heck of a streak going on here at Charlotte. I think this is like 6 or 7 in a row now. So we're going to carry that in and try to get, we're off for Memorial Day next weekend, so I'll probably be running the NIS, the 600, as the capstone for running the Indy 500 earlier. Congrats to Eric Mickey. he was able to pick up a win in one of his splits for the 500. So overall, I think we got a great group of guys here and go out and get it done. So we'll get through the Memorial Day weekend with the 600, and then we'll get focused for Pocono.
And with that being said, is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
Shout out to American Hero Hunt for helping pay the bills to make sure we can bring this out to the viewers, and hopefully we'll drum up maybe some interest. Guys want to come and race with us. We're available and taking recruiting. iRacing, again, for just the platform, just for us to be able to do this is really quite amazing, and all the infrastructure, all the industry that's popped up around it. My wife for having the patience and supporting me every Sunday evening when it's time to feed our cats. She takes care of that all on her own because I'm busy usually qualifying when it's time for that, and all the viewers.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on finally breaking the drought with the race win, and we will see you at Pocono.
Sure.
All right. That's going to bring us into tonight's results. Obviously, coming home with the race win, we just spoke to the 75 of Robert Barris. The 16 of Elliott Butler is going to bring it home second. The 22 of Joshua Stewart third. The 10 of Todd Cray will bring it home fourth. The 4 of Caleb Thompson is going to bring it home fifth. Jason DeVries in the 21 sixth. The 23 of Corey Brown seventh. Adam Nowinski in the 28 will finish eighth. The 6 of Rodney Kramer, despite being in the backpack most of the night, is going to bring it home inside the top 10 with a 9th place finish. The 56 of Christian DeBoer is going to round out the top 10. Eric Mickey, despite tagging the inside wall fiercely hard, he's going to bring it home in 11th spot. The 76 of Joshua Jones, also being involved in an incident earlier with the 30 of Kyle Clenworth. He's going to bring it home respectably in 12th, as well as the 30 in 13th. The 38 of James Mullins, despite throughputting, is still going to bring it home in 14th. The 77 of Seth Schultz, who we saw involved in an incident as well, he's going to bring it home in the 15th position. The 87 of Sean Bradley, 16th. The 96 of Josh Gallagher, 17th. The 44 of Aaron Corey, 18th. The 25 of Rusty Farrell, 19th. Tim Cato in the 92 is going to round out the top 20. Caleb Finn in the 95 will be your 21st place finisher, and rounding out the field tonight will be the 32 of Jason Burgess. Now, guys, any final words before we put this one in the books?
I say send it to the books. I'm looking forward to Pocono next week. I'm sitting in my favorite chair, not inside a race cockpit, and going to watch the show and hopefully do a little broadcasting.
Well, I know I'm going to enjoy the little bit of time off with Memorial Day weekend coming up, and I might actually be dumb enough to do one of the 600s myself, even though I know how it's going to probably turn out, but nonetheless, it's still fun. We want to thank everybody tuning in tonight from the iRacing Live portal. Hopefully, we put on a good show. You guys got to see a good finish there. And once again, like Robert said, if you're interested, you like the way that these guys race here, we are recruiting, and this is probably one of the top tier leagues on iRacing, even though you can look at that a million different ways. But all I have to say is go back in the archives and look at our broadcasts and look at the racing. It doesn't really get cleaner than this. So if you guys feel like you want to be a part of it, remember we have two different series. We have the American Hero Hunt Cup Series, and we also have the Truck and Xfinity Series. So look us up on the iRacing directory. Just throw out an application. We are recruiting, and hopefully you can get some TV time. So with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here at Charlotte. Hope you guys enjoyed the race. Hope you guys have a safe and fun Memorial Day weekend, and that's going to do it for us. So thanks once again for tuning in, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks on Sunday, but we will be back Saturday night with Cyber Racing as they go back to, I believe, Daytona in the open trucks in the Homes Now Not Later Super Speedway Series. But for everybody here at Diehard Racing League, Diehard Live TV, and iRacing, we want to thank you for tuning in, and good night.